What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to break down what Elon Musk, the man, the myth, the legend, Elon Musk said about Tesla, because we have some major tweets that just came out that are foreshadowing some very important events. I'm also going to break down what happened during the Tesla price cuts, how this has affected Tesla's most popular model inventories, and how this could affect Tesla going forward. I'm also going to talk about the share price in Tesla, what patterns we are seeing, and what is going on with the market right now, and why we may see a fake out rally again. Now, before I break anything down about the markets, before I talk about Tesla's share price and what you need to know, I have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $3,000. And the best part is, any could be a free Tesla share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 1 week, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Looking at Tesla, this thing was up about 4.91% for the day. I did mention to everyone that we had some crazy things going on in the options chains for both Tesla and SPY. When looking at SPY, okay, we had lots of calls and lots of puts, and we had way more puts than calls, and the market makers would have been incentivized to push the market up to about 390 at least. My prediction was we'd push up to 393 on SPY, then come down and close very close to about 390 because we had a Fed speaker today. And despite the Fed speaker being kind of hawkish, maybe not extremely hawkish, but somewhat hawkish, the market did not care. It just kept going, and we actually closed around 395 on SPY. Now, on Tesla, we had something else that was very interesting. We had a very similar looking options chain, except there were a lot more people that were incentivized to push this even higher. And that's because of the fact that there were so many calls that were out of the money. They still actually closed that way, but that did end up leading Max Payne to hitting that 130 level. So what happened was, instead of closing around 130, my prediction was Tesla would hit 131 to 130 and close around there. We closed a little bit higher, around 133. So Tesla did pretty well today. We did actually outperform the market, and I'm very happy to see Tesla performing this way finally. What else is worth noting is the price price ratio has bounced, is continuing to trend to the upside, but this is also because of earnings, which is coming out in just 5 days from now. And when we get closer to earnings and we're pumping this hard, I would be very cautious, not just because of the fact that, opposite reactions are very possible, but also because of implied volatility crush. That IV crush could actually hurt people holding options overnight. This happened to a lot of people holding calls on Netflix overnight. So be very careful when it comes to plays like that. Tesla is trying to catch up, is trying to outperform SPY, and when you compare it to QQQ, it's also doing pretty well. The triple Q also has potential to push up a little bit because it has a gap that's unfilled, and it looks like it might try to go for that gap to the upside. I also want to note that some analysts are turning bullish on Tesla. Once again, it also depends on earnings, so take this with a grain of salt. But Jeffries was actually bullish BOA securities. We also got an overweight rating from Piper Sandler. I haven't actually heard of that analyst, but they're saying that this basically means that they think the share price is going to perform better than many people expect over the next few, I don't know what the specific period of time, but in the future. That's basically what this means. So we are seeing analysts turn a little bit more bullish on Tesla. I do think Tesla could remain bullish, but then it's going to really depend on earnings. So now I want to talk about some things Elon Musk has retweeted and actually said about Tesla. Musk retweeted this, and the reason I'm talking about this is because I think understanding Elon Musk's perspectives and his words are very important for Tesla investors. Okay, we don't hear him talk as much as we maybe used to. We also do not see him tweeting as much about Tesla as we used to. Over the last couple of days, he maybe tweeted, I don't know, at least 50 times. He's had like 50 plus tweets over just the last couple of days, or he retweeted things 50 times, and only 2 or 3 of them were actually about Tesla. The rest were about politics and Twitter and other things like that. I personally respect Elon Musk's right to say what he wants, but I do warn him to be very careful with his words. That's just my own claim. However, as the CEO of Tesla, excuse me, sorry guys. Elon Musk still says things about Tesla, and I just wanted to break down what he just said very recently. So he retweeted this, I think today, just a few hours ago. He said Tesla operates, or at least Tesla said this, and then he, retweeted it. It says Tesla operates the world's largest global fast charging network, 40,000 plus superchargers in 46 countries, located near amenities and optimized for high speed charging on road trips. I consider this amazing, and as time goes on, the network is going to get bigger in the USA specifically, incentivizing more people to buy those Teslas. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later as well, because we had those price cuts, but something else happened involving them. Now, Elon Musk also he replied to something else that this person said. They said, "News: Tesla Model Y wins the 2023 Safety Car Award from what car? There is no safer car to put your money on or your family in 2023 than the Tesla Model Y. That is also part of why this car is very popular. It's very stylish, and this is incredible news for the company. In addition, the Model 3 won the Executive Car of the Year as well as the Efficiency Award. So, huge congratulations to Tesla on these big awards. Elon Musk responded and he said Teslas are the safest cars on the road, but most people don't know that. So he just barely responded. Very awesome to see Musk showing more engagement in this company. And I do agree, they're very safe cars. I know the media tries to twist this. They try to tell us that, oh, the full self-driving technology is not working. They're hitting strollers. They're horrible cars. They're going to crash. That is very far from what the truth actually is. I do agree that the technology is not perfect yet. It is a beta. There's so much work to be done, but the benefits this brings to the world will be immense as years go on. Kathy Wood even stated in the past that full self-driving technology is going to be $1 trillion market. Robotaxi is going to be huge too. I'm still very bullish on Tesla because of news like this. And I think this is just very awesome for consumers and their buyers. Now, Elon Musk also tweeted that Fed rate increases make cars more expensive for consumers. That is 100% true, increasing the difficulty level for automotive companies. So, that in turn is very, very true. I do agree with his point right over there. The rate hikes make everything essentially a lot more expensive because you're paying higher interest rates for a bunch of different things, whether it's for your credit cards, your mortgages, or even for buying a car. Now, even though that's the case, right, to offset this risk, to offset the lower demand, many car companies are cutting the prices of cars, and we are likely going to see the trend continue for many different car companies for the first 2 quarters of this year, maybe even going into the third quarter, but maybe not as like aggressively. Now, in turn, I want to just note something. A couple of days ago, Tesla announced that they're going to be cutting prices up to $13,000 in the US, and I had this chart right here. If you look at this, we had a 6% cut for the Model 3, a 20% cut for the Model Y, and this is one of their most popular cars. The Model S also got a 10% cut, and they had these big cuts. So I want to show you guys some data on this. Once again, remember, for deliveries, the two most popular ones were the Model 3 and the Model Y. So I want to focus specifically on these. And that's just for all of 2022. Even today, the Model Y is still extremely popular, even for 2023. So let's start off with the Model 3. I have the chart for the inventories right over here, and there's a very interesting trend that I'm seeing. The inventories were just going up like crazy as demand was coming down and down and down. And once again, this chart is the total number of new and existing inventory Model 3s in the United States, by the way. All right. And this is according to the Tesla website. So I'm talking about this because look at the 12th when inventories were just on this crazy uptrend. Tesla announces, oh, we have price cuts coming, big price cuts, and look at the inventory. It drops, it dropped, it dropped. It's just been on this big downtrend. So that's a pretty decent sign for Tesla. I don't necessarily have more data on like the margins, on other numbers. So I can't go into the full details about whether or not this will increase the odds of them having a decent earnings. But I can tell you that there have been some improvements that have been made to the company. We are starting to see some more buyers come in. We are starting to see demand actually increase a bit. For the Model Y specifically, look at this. This is crazy. The peak right here, their inventory is going up. It was at about the same date, the 12th of January, then we see this giant drop in inventories showing signs of more people trying to buy these cars at these deals. They also qualify for other potential tax credits and other things like that. So it really incentivized more and more people, and it did actually work to bring in more buyers. But we need more data to actually make more and maybe even bigger claims. But I just wanted to note that yes, Tesla did technically do something that they had to do, and I do believe they did made the right decision during a time like this. Now, with the whole car prices being cut, you also have to account for the fact that your competitors technically, and I know Elon Musk does not like to talk that way, but it is the truth. There are technically car companies competing with Tesla. I'm saying this because they're also going to be cutting their prices. So it's going to really affect this whole race going forward. But I don't think the competition is going to hurt Tesla too much because the cars are still very popular. I do believe that their inventories are going to continue to go down. And I do believe that even though demand is shifting so much, Tesla could still do pretty decently compared to other car companies. And then once these issues really cool off, once we start to see the cars market shift, things will go back to normal. Tesla will just absolutely kill it. And I think they're in a very, very good position for the future. So I just wanted to note this information and some things Elon Musk said. I know he does not tweet as much about Tesla as he used to. And in my opinion, at least he's still saying some things. So I still want to say thank you to Elon Musk. And I know many of us may not always agree with him, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Anyways, let's talk about Tesla. Let's talk about the markets. What the heck is going on? So, like I mentioned to everyone on SPY and NASDAQ, the crazy options chains incentivized the market makers and institutions to maybe push the market up a bit. I did mention there was a possibility of either direction, but I was more bullish for today. I predicted SPY would hit 393, then close around 390, maybe a little higher. We ended up just pushing all the way up to 395, and now it's looking like the market might actually try to retest this trend line. We could even see the market push up a little bit more, which could even help Tesla at least to some degree. Now, I don't believe that this push up means the market's going to just explode forever. I think the market's trying very hard to convince you that that's what's going to happen, but it's not actually what will happen. I do believe the market is set for downside. That's just my honest opinion based off many other technical indicators I showed you guys on this channel. I will actually go over them again in the future, but I just want to note we could see a fake out rally very soon. There are going to be lots and lots of these fake outs, so please be very prepared. I will make another video where I go into more specific details, maybe for tomorrow or some other date. And for Tesla, what do I see going forward? My prediction on Tesla, when looking at max pain, it was at not three, 131.67. That's where Tesla's max pain was from my memory. I predicted we'd close it right about there around 131, maybe a little bit higher. We ended up closing at 133, and that's despite how Tesla had been dropping a bit and maybe underperforming a bit. We do have a possible inverse head and shoulders like formation that got confirmed today right here. We are excuse me, starting to push up a bit. And it looks like we're getting very close to retesting this resistance level around this 135 to 136 zone. We could retest and maybe even break above it very soon. Because I do think that Tesla has lots of potential to do this amidst earnings that's coming out very soon. I think Tesla has earnings on Wednesday. I believe it's after the market closes on Wednesday. Uh, when earnings comes out, people are going to be hyped up. I know Tesla tends to pump very hard, but please be very, very cautious. So now we're still respecting this rising wedge-like pattern. Does this mean we're just going to crash immediately after and start filling these gaps? It does not guarantee that, right? It depends on earnings, right? Specifically. But what I'm saying is there's a risk of it potentially coming down if we are pumping this hard. Because what if they end up missing on their earnings per share? What if they miss on revenue? We don't know for sure because they did actually miss on deliveries in Q4, at least some expectations, and that's why Tesla did end up dropping in the very beginning of the year like this, hitting 101 at the low point before getting a bounce. So it's one of those events we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But until then, if Tesla's simply kind of like pumping off hype going into earnings, that's not the best of catalysts to actually push the share price up, and that's why you need to be very cautious. If Tesla breaks 136, this 136 zone right here, we have a gap in the 137s, which we could actually fill pretty quickly. And I don't think we're going to be hit by any major resistance until we get to about 140. So we could actually see Tesla hit 140 going into next week because of earnings. But like I mentioned before, simply pumping off the hype for earnings is not a sustainable way to see a stock move. That's why I'm not necessarily expecting this to really go in any direction. It's more like I'm just going to watch what earnings says first before making any decisions. With that said, guys, please enjoy your weekend. I will make another more technical video in the future. I just wanted to share many pieces of very important information involving Elon Musk. And I just want to say that even though Elon Musk could say contentious things, even though Elon Musk is not perfect, okay, I will put that into consideration. But I will also note that I'm still very grateful for him because of his efforts, because of the team's efforts, because of the entire Tesla team. They've made this stock what it is. They've made this company possible. And I believe the future is still very bright. There will be pain in the future for this company, for the majority of people in the US, but for the long term, I believe our futures are still bright as long as we never lose hope, as long as we never give up, and we keep on not just working hard, but we also work smart with our investments, with our decisions in life, and the choices we make. Thank you all for listening. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you guys very, very soon. Tesla to the moon because the long term future is still incredibly bright. And peace out.